Before this video starts, I just want to give a massive shout out to all my channel members. If you want to receive a shout out, then become a channel member today and you'll be shown on screen like all these other channel members here. Anyways, enjoy the video. In version 14.5, a brand new almighty unit was added. This being Speedster Skanda, primarily based on Skanda, the god of war in Hinduism and brother of Ganesha, and Skanda, a bodhisattva who shares the same name and is associated with speed in Japan, to where the Japanese name, Idaten, can be used to describe someone as a speedster. Their kit comes equipped with red, alien, and angel targeting with Weaken, Wave, and Sage Slayer. In this video, I want to go over their performance and see how strong they are. The level of Skanda in this footage is at level 40. The best place to start is to take a look at his general stats. Skanda, true to his speedster name, has 62 speed, and with 200 range, makes him more of a standard rusher unit. However, unlike most other rusher units, they aren't exactly meant to deal an absurd amount of damage to specific traits. They sport a rather bulky 81,000 health, and with their wave, deals 40,800 damage. Instead of dealing massive chunks of damage in rapid bursts, they help by weakening their target traits of Red, Alien, and Angel for 4.8 seconds. He sports a backswing of nearly 10 seconds long, meaning once he gets his hidden, he'll just sit in the back for a while. Skanda is a support rusher, being able to provide extremely solid support with on-demand weaken for his 3 traits. In the early game, Red and Alien enemies are extremely common traits to run into, so his weaken can make these enemies a lot easier to handle. The wave could also help hit enemies that are beyond his range to make backliner enemies weak as well, allowing for a ton of units to not worry about taking damage. The wave also still deals enough damage to act as a peon sweeper, making room for your units to attack the major supports and bosses. However, compared to most other rushers, his knockback count is rather lacking, only sporting 3 knockbacks total. This means he won't be able to rebound all the time, so his chances of weakening over long periods is lower than you would expect from a rusher. This issue is somewhat mitigated when fighting against starred aliens, as their warp allows him to automatically re-enter his attack state, allowing these groups of aliens to more easily be weaken chained. Enemies with knockback can also help him re-trigger his attack way sooner, such as Nimoybor, Sleipnir, Red Energy, and Gokurako. As a Sage Slayer, their damage isn't exactly the highest, though it does make them very bulky against Sages, sporting 163,000 health. His best use cases are against the Sage enemies that he targets, such as Dr. KO, Tarsariel, Angiruth, and Tekkennold Hyena. Tekkennold and Ruth both have abilities that reposition him, and thus can trigger his weaken more often. While this unit on its own may seem like a solid unit to give temporary relief for your units to let them more easily handle the bigger threats, where this guy shines best is with other rushers. The 100% weaken chance allows rushers, which usually tend to be rather fragile as a means to compensate for their huge damage, to be extremely bulky. This, in turn, can allow a gigantic amount of damage to be done against enemies in a quick period of time. Another tool of his that allows him to be an excellent unit when paired with other rushers is his summon. His summon, besides already dealing excellent damage on its own, freezes all enemies for 3.33 seconds, or relevant for his target traits, 4 seconds. If you pair him with the high-level Thunderbolt, you can easily get over 6 seconds of uninterrupted damage. Units that pair extremely well with them include Isamboshi, Blanca, Saito Hajime, and Kalisa. It should be no surprise that the biggest winner of this, however, is Bahamut, as Bahamut being able to go on an unstoppable rampage for a long period of time can easily allow him to kill most enemies in one cycle of this. However, it should be noted that they do have a somewhat high summon cost of 4,500, meaning you need to ensure you have a good amount of cash if you want to send these two out at the same time. If you are able to do this, however, then Bahamut and Skanda together can make for an extremely deadly combo. So, how good is Skanda? Well, for a rusher unit, his kit is rather unique. Instead of acting as raw damage, he's more of a support rusher unit, providing solid weaken against Red, Angel, and Alien enemies. His damage for a rusher is on the weaker side of things, but it's still enough to deal with weak peons to let your units deal with the stronger support enemies. Their biggest strength, however, lies in pairing him with other rushers, as his weaken can make squishy rushers not have to take as much damage, but his summon can also make chains much easier and longer, especially when paired with the Thunderbolt cannon. With all that said, I want to thank you for watching this analysis of Speedster Skanda. If you thought this insight was interesting, then be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy Battle Cats content, and comment down below your thoughts on Skanda. I'd love to hear what you all think of them. Also, shout out to the following channel members: Mark Lagoons, Gamet, Ian Dean, Ninja Stars, Virus El Perro, Just a Shark, Potato King, Gross Cat the Best, Tentacle Gaming, Atsushi, King Wolf, and Re Gaming for being silver members or higher. If you want to receive a shoutout like these channel members here, then become a silver member or higher today. Becoming a channel member supports what I do in a way that helps keep the lights on and allows me to continue making content for all of you to watch. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day.